There's so many people nowadays that have allergies to gluten or sensitivities, or they just want to eat differently. And so there's a lot of new, well, I shouldn't say new, but there's a lot of different flowers that are out there now. And you can definitely substitute a lot of them if you have those needs. But I'd say that if it's something that you're trying that's new and you haven't really done it before, that you should maybe make a test run of it, because sometimes like the wild rice flour has a different hydration factor than, say, the all-purpose flour. Or if you're adding different ingredients, sometimes it is a lot of trial and error and finding out how things are going to work the best for you with what you want to accomplish. So if you're making pasta or bread, you can always include some of the other kinds of flour. We like to add corn to our bread a lot because it just tastes so amazing. But we also have to watch then the amount of liquid that we add to it to make sure that that liquid is going to compensate for what the corn will take in hydration. So if you can see this, it's getting a little bit thinner. You can see there are some spots where you can identify the wild rice in there, and it just looks amazing. Like, these colors are absolutely beautiful. And so this will be good enough here. And we will go ahead and get started on the stuffing. So in order to save some time, I did pre-roast some of the vegetables already. I'm just gonna go ahead and make this a little bit more manageable here. And there we go. Just gonna take a second and move this out of the way and grab the food processor, because we're going to make the filling now with the roasted vegetables. That I got before. Move this out of the way for a second. And take these out. So you can see I just kind of roasted them all together, lightly salt and peppered them. And I'm gonna go ahead and put those in the food processor. And so that they're not incredibly runny, And to add a little bit more of that deep flavor, I'm going to add some hazelnut flour. So this is just roasted ground hazelnuts. Before I blend, and just a tiny little bit of salt there. So I'm going to blend this up really quick. You can see. Just another quick little buzz here. There we go. Now it has a nice stiff consistency, you can see, so that it will not be too runny for the ravioli. Take that out. And we want it to be hearty. We want there to be flavor, but I don't want it also to be like it's kind of pasty, but it's a nice consistency to get in there. So we have our ravioli rolled out. I'm gonna go ahead and get this water started. And we'll put a little bit down. Here. There you go. That's a nice amount. I think we can do 4 here. Kind of put that on top, seal it down a little bit. And I want to try and get those air bubbles out, especially with the ravioli. Make sure that they're pinched down well enough. And I'm just going to go ahead and seal these up and make sure that the sides are together enough. And this won't take very long to cook. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do after I drop these in is we are going to get our topping ready and sauteed. So I am going to move you from here to the stovetop so you can see what we're going to be doing for the rest of the vegetables. So I'm just adding a little bit of oil to this hot pan. I'm going to add the morels. Saute them. And then I've blanched this milkweed, and I'm just going to add that and saute it quickly with the mushrooms to get them cooked. This really needs to be cooked through. So it's good to blanch stuff like that that might need more than one cook to process it. So I'll just saute these real quick and then we'll get ready to plate. All right, so we boiled our ravioli, we sauteed our vegetables, we took our roasted squash out of the oven, and we tossed the ravioli with some of this amazing pesto. I'm just going to show it to you so you can see. What I did was I blanched the ramps and the nettles, and then we emulsified it with some sunflower oil, pine nuts, and then froze it. So we freeze this in smaller containers, and then we're able to use it throughout the year whenever we need it. So I'm going to work on plating this right now so you can see the finished product. And one of the things I definitely want to emphasize is that if you do go out and forage, that you do it responsibly in order to maintain these plants and this wonderful way of being able to get ingredients. We need to make sure that we leave enough plants behind that they can continue on. So when you do go out foraging, make sure you do it responsibly. And we'll add all these little components to our dish. These morels are a real treat. And if you saw on the video, we had to make a straight hike up that hill to be able to get these. And it's amazing because there's a fruit orchard on top of that hill, and for some reason they really enjoy being there. So it's a great place to be able to go and find them for a decent amount of time. They have a probably 2.5 week life there where you can go at different levels of that hill and find them. So I also, to complement the pesto, have some pine nuts that I'm going to add. And it'll give it just the slightest bit of different texture. And then I'm going to finish it with some of my good friend Spring Alaska's dried squash blossoms and Sakari Farms. And the end result is our wonderful pasta dish with nettles, ramps, milkweed, morels, squash, asparagus, and super delicious. I can't wait to have some conversation with you about it. We'll see you soon.